Hey there, it's Anonymous Tea, where we spill the tea anonymously. Hello, 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 everyone. Hello, YouTubers. Hope you guys are all having an amazing day today, sending good vibes, sending positivity, sending blessings, and good energy to each and every single one of you. Thank you so much for tuning in. So today we are talking Jay-Z having Beyoncé work on Christmas. It's a little odd. We're going to get into it. So anything I say is alleged, and in my personal opinion, this is for entertainment purposes only. None of this is personal. So you guys, in the wee hours, you guys, Beyoncé posted a trailer that basically on Christmas, on December 25th, 2024, she is going to be performing via Netflix during the halftime of the, I believe it's the Baltimore Ravens and Houston Texans game. It's a little interesting to me. It's a little interesting, right? So, because it's been in the news regarding this IRS thing that Beyonce's got going on, in which she owes, I think, like $2.2 million for unpaid taxes I think it was for 2018, 2019, and they assessed like an additional $2.2 million in unpaid taxes for those years, along with like $450,000 in interest and $263,000 in penalties as of October of this year. So I am trying to figure out all of these ventures this year, because Beyonce's never worked like this. Not even when her father, Matthew Knowles, was her manager, you guys. Beyonce has never been doing all of this, right? So we had in January, we had the Verizon commercial during the Super Bowl. We had in February, remember she did for Black History Month, she did the whole spread in essence, saying how her hair care line Secret was coming out. We also had, of course, the release of the album Cowboy Carter, you guys. And remember, there were some issues with the album because originally, if you ordered the vinyl, there was like 6 or 7 songs missing. And it was titled like Beyoncé. It wasn't even titled Cowboy Carter. So they had to get all that sorted out. And then remember as well, this summer, Beyoncé has released the Whiskey, right? And then she also recently was in the Levi's commercial, you guys. And then she did some promo stuff for the Paris Olympics as well, you guys. And so it's interesting that it is okay for Beyonce to perform in Houston in her quote-unquote hometown, but there was so much controversy when Lil Wayne wanted to perform the Super Bowl halftime show in his hometown of New Orleans, where the Super Bowl is going to be next year, where Kendrick Lamar is going to be headlining, right? So it's just a lot of moving parts. Some people are speculating that Beyonce is going to announce after this particular performance either a tour for Cowboy Carter or a Vegas residency. Now, this is going to be interesting because the last Vegas, deal that Beyonce did was many, many moons ago with The Win, and it was like a short stint or whatever. But there had been over the past several years, in particular, but more so the past few years, rumors of a Vegas residency, right? And I remember the very first time, I think it was Love B. Scott or somebody that made that announcement, Beyonce immediately came out and like debunked it, right? Wanted no parts, because I think, and I don't know at the time why she tried to make it seem like it was like an insult to her, because I feel like with a lot of the younger artists, especially when Britney Spears had the Vegas residency, it opened the door for several entertainers, whether they were active or retired or young or older or whatever. It opened the door though for a lot more celebs to get millions of dollars in these Vegas residencies, and all types of people, came out. You had, Mariah, you had Janet Jackson, you had Celine Dion, you had all these people, Lionel Richie, you had Christina Aguilera, you had Gwen Stefani, you had all these people now that were coming out to Vegas to do these residencies and things. So nonetheless, I don't understand why Beyonce thought it was an insult, but I think Beyonce's mom and Jay-Z, it came out, I believe this was, I want to say earlier this year, that her and Jay-Z, they were trying to negotiate a Vegas deal. And remember, I did a video on this, I think, that Beyonce wanted to perform at the Sphere, which is the new Vegas hotspot, right? And because U2 had a residency there, but there was issues with the money, and there was issues because Beyonce's team wanted to shut down the Sphere for 2 weeks to, I guess, have like a certain stage set up. But what I didn't understand, if you were Beyonce, why couldn't you just recreate that same stage setup at another venue in Las Vegas? There's plenty of other venues and hotels and things and facilities that you can utilize at your disposal to recreate the same type of stage, because basically Vegas said, hey, we're not closing down the Sphere because it's still a tourist attraction. Like, yes, you have the component for the concert, but outside of that, it's still a tourist attraction. There's other things that we've got going on here. We can't just shut this down completely. So it's going to be interesting if we get this announcement, like I said, either a tour or a residency, because I have never seen Beyonce working like this. I have never seen her work Christmas, and this is new recently with the NFL having games now in Christmas because they're trying to knock out the NBA, I think, because the NBA has typically, they've owned Christmas, right? It's usually, the NFL owns Thanksgiving and then the NBA owns Christmas, right? And NBA would have like a slew of like 5 or 6 NBA games, usually starting at like noon. And would have back-to-back games all day. So it's interesting. I believe over the past few years or so, the NFL is now like, listen, we want in on the Christmas action as well. So Beyonce is going to be performing at Netflix. Now, here's the thing with Netflix, though. Netflix and their live streams have not been going so well. They have not been going so well at all, you guys. The only one that was really successful was really the Chris Rock one, but technically that was pre-taped. But it was a live airing of the special, but it technically wasn't a live, it wasn't live when he actually did that particular set. Now, what has happened recently, though, we had a disaster, I believe it was a couple seasons ago, when Love is Blind USA tried to do a live reunion on Netflix, and there was buffering issues. It was a hot mess. Things were not working properly. And we most recently, of course, this past weekend, had the Mike Tyson fight that was supposed to be live streamed on Netflix, and there was issues. So I'm trying to figure out how this is going to go on Netflix, if we're going to run into more of the same regarding any type of buffering issues or issues with putting this type of a production on via Netflix. It's going to be interesting, right? So more to come on that, but like I said, I've never seen Beyonce work this hard, and I can't believe Jay's got Beyonce working like this on Christmas. Like I said, even Mariah Carey, who is the queen of Christmas, she even stops working for Christmas. She takes her family out to, I believe it is Aspen or somewhere, for the holidays every single year. That's been her tradition. So it is just wild. This is happening because it felt like Beyonce kind of abandoned Cowboy Carter. Like, we had the album release, it went #1, it had some noise, and now currently it's no longer on the charts. In any capacity, there's been no visuals for this album, there's been no tour announcement associated for this album, and then there's rumors that Act 3 is supposed to be a rock album. And some other rumors that it potentially might be another duet album with Jay-Z, but it may also be a rock album. So it's going to be interesting where we go from here. And if there is going to be any announcement of sorts, I would have to think at this point, because it would be inevitable, right? For some type of tour, some type of residency to be announced at the conclusion of this halftime performance. Wouldn't it make sense? Like that's usually what Beyonce did, right? That's what she does, right? Remember when Formation came out and she announced that there was going to be like a corresponding tour after that performance and everything else? So I think this could happen again. So more to come on that. So we will see what happens. But let me know your guys' thoughts about this in the comments. What do you think about Beyonce working Christmas? Because it's like not normal for her to work Christmas. Because here's the thing. I don't care what celebrity you are, even these athletes do not want to work Christmas. They would prefer, like your LeBron James and others, they would prefer to be at home with their families, right? And being with their families, watching their kids open presents, and all of these things. So it is very interesting that now all of a sudden Beyonce has to work Christmas, and I feel like she has worked like a workhorse this year, which is not normal for her. She should be at the point in her career where she should be working less, where we should see and hear less of Beyonce. Billionaire Beyonce, right? But it's I don't know, there's just a lot going on that's sus to me, and I feel like at this point maybe Beyonce and Jay-Z, they're trying to get as many projects out as possible, depending on what happens in the future with them. Maybe that's the motivation here. Let's try to rack up as much money as possible, but it's, I don't know, something in the milk isn't clean, y'all. So there is that. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you're notified the moment I post new content on my channel. And with that being said, I'll talk to you guys again very soon.